Hello YouTube, and welcome to another video from Case Technologies. I'm going to do a video on 25 useful Linux commands. These Linux commands can be used right now if you're not familiar with Linux, if you're just getting started, or even if you're already doing system administration on a regular day-to-day basis, preparing for a Linux Plus certification, preparing for the Red Hat certification. You'll be able to use these commands right away, trust me. So I'm just gonna go right on in, cd to user bin, and the first command I'm gonna use is was cd. Cd is essentially change directory. You can cd into the directory you want to pick from. It could be cd home, all right? And if you want to go back a directory, just go cd dot dot. And now I'm in the root directory, and I can show you I'm in the root. I know I'm in the root directory because I can do pwd, print working directory, which gives me root. I can cd home and then pwd. So there's two useful commands. Cd changes the directory, then pwd prints working directory, or shows you your working directory where you currently are. So it's clear. It's another command that is very, very useful. I'm just trying to keep track here, so that's where you can type in, don't see anything. All right, and then another command is ls. It will print the contents of your directory. So if I'm already in the home, the only other directory or anything in the home directory is one username and it sticks. So I can go to user bin ls, and I can see all these files in this directory, right? And that's the ls command. It will list everything in the directory, if it's a file or a directory, right? So we're going to clear again, right? And then I'm going to use another command called grep. And what grep does is it helps you search for a specific string or regex statement. So I'm going to do ls, and then I'm going to grep for anything that starts with pg. So there you go. I got everything that starts with a pg inside of print working directory, user bin. So these are all the files that start with pg or contain pg. And if I wanted to make that a little better, I can do this color, because I don't like that. So now it'll highlight all the PGs found in that directory. So you have gpg conf, list, pmto pgm, pg config, Postgres, this is Postgres bench, Postgres conf tool, create cluster, and so on and so forth. So grep is very useful. Clear. And before I forget, if you're ever curious about, okay, how do people know how to use this command, how they know the switches are associated with this one command, you use man, which is short for manual page. So you do man grep, and then everything comes up on how to use it. Like if you want to do version, you would just do a -V. I can show you that. Grep -V. Right? It'll tell you the version and everything in here. 3.1. It's GNU grep. Clear. So let's move on to the next one, which is uptime. And this command, all it does is show you how long a server has been up. It is up 33 days, 22 hours, 15 minutes. There's been 2 users. The load average for the CPU users right here. Okay. All right. Let's do another command. And that would be free -G to get your total of RAM. This is the command you would use. See how it says your memory usage right here? It'll tell you the total memory you have, and this is in gigabytes, right? five are used, 1 is free, then the remaining 7 is buffered. And this does not add up, so don't even try to add up. I know it's not right. But there's a better command to get a more precise pull of your RAM utilization, and that would be free-m, and that'll give it to you in megabytes. So then the numbers look slightly better. So the gigabyte one is just going to be rounding to the nearest gigabyte, nearest gig, whereas the megabytes will give you a more precise calculation of usage and utilization. And we'll clear again, get the screen back in free. Now we're going to move on to the df command, which is very, very useful. I cannot stress this enough. You use this on a daily. And df, it shows you all your mounted drives, the file system they are, so the file system location, and then it will show you at the very end here on this side where it's mounted, where you can find it. Then you have this total size in this column. Then you have the usage in this column, and then what's available. But if you want to do a quick look, it's the use column right here. The percentages, 38%. Root is has 38% filled, and root is on dev SDB5 when it comes to the hard drive, the physical hard drive itself. We're going to clear that out. Then we're going to use a similar command, which is fdisk-l. It gives us our raw physical devices, their mounts and drives. Right? You have to elevate your privileges to see this. So I'm going to do that. And there we go. Dev SDA is about 300 gig drive. And then it has 2 partitions, Dev SDA1, Dev SDA2. Then I have a second drive that we're just looking at, which is Dev SDB. And this is my SSD drive. And it has 3 mounts, SDB1, 3 partitions. Dev SDB1, SDB2, and SDB5. And it tells you right here that it's a Linux format. All right. And this one up here has an NTFS Windows formatting. All right, it's clear. Let's move on to the next one. The next command is going to be ps. ps will show you the processes. If you use ps-a, or psa, I should say, they give you all processes owned by me, by this particular user. All right, you can use AU for all user specifics. All users, and then you can keep going into it by searching the different calls and switches that they recommend. To see every process on the system using BSD syntax, you can say A and X. To see every process on the system using standard syntax, you can use PS and E. To see every process running as root, you do ps-u-u-root u, and so on and so forth, just by using the man page. So keep that in mind. PS is another awesome command. And AX, that's every process on my system right now. And you would really want to chain that with grep, and then search it. Search whatever application you're looking for to see what it's actually doing. So clear, get the screen back again. We're going to move on to the next one. Next one is one of my favorites too, alias. So you can create an alias in Linux to make something short. So if I say alias p equals Python, I think I had Python 3. I can say alias, and it'll show all my aliases right here, what their commands is and what'll happen if I use the alias. So let's go ahead and use that alias. It drops right into a Python shell, and I can do import OS, And then I can say os-system, use the ls command, which we were just using. And it'll do that. Or I can do pwd. I'm still in the user bin directory, right? So let's go ahead and exit out. But that's alias. And you can use alias for all sorts of things. If you want to chain a series of commands, I could do alias train, chain, spell commands equal ls-l. Boom. And I can do chain. And I can run, let's do aliases first so we can see if it was been added. That's the correct way to do things. So we're going to do, now we're going to just run chain commands, boom. And it ran the ls command for me. I don't have to type it like that if I don't want to. I can make it a letter or whatever I want to do. Or you can do that in your daily, day-to-day administration to make shortcuts and make things easier for you. That's why I love working with Linux. All right, so if you want to find a location for a particular application, you just type in which, and it would just say which Chrome. Which try to think here. It's a good easy one. Next, is it? I do Python then. I don't want to stay on that. Let's do that. Which Python? And it'll show you where it's actually located. I had to no. Yes. Which Cody is a better one. Yes. So anything that's in the if it's in the user bin, it'll find it for you and let you know with the which command what that application actually is. And that's which, essentially. If you're looking for something, you want to know if it's actually on your system, it'll find it and let you know which one that it's looking to use. If you have multiple instances of Python or what have you, it'll let you know what the system is defaulting to. So then you have this for all my networking folks or those who deal with networking. You have netstat. And I don't have it installed, so sudo apt-get install netstat, which is short for network statistics, basically. And these are 2 bonus commands. Install the net tools. All right, now let's see if netstats works. There we go. And what netstat can do is it can show you all your TCP, UDP connections, what you're listening on. So you can do netstat or just regular default netstat. It'll show you everything. But you can also just do TCP connections. And summaries. Let's see. Okay, -T. That's that. -T. I can see all my TCP connections and all the files, routes, and everything is taking and the ports that are being utilized with. Let's get out of there. And that's pretty much netstat. You can go through man and have a field day with it. Be careful. Use with caution. I said it here. That's my disclaimer. I didn't tell you to use that at work. Be careful to use that at work. If you don't have permission to use it on a system or at school, do not do it. All right, let's talk about IP adder. All right. IP adder is the way to show your IP address. To get that, and right here I'm using a wireless network interface card. So, and this is my local IP onto my local network. Not worried about you guys having that. It means nothing. All right. So that's how you would get your IP. You can do IP address A. Oh. Is it A? That's just all. Let's see. I can check it, man. IP-A. Just, oh. Yeah. Depends if command supports that option. We're gonna move past that one. You also do IP route. It shows all your routes that are connected and set up, and what path they're taking, where you're getting DHCP from, all your links. So that's another command in there. IP route, IP adder. From our networking folks, I made sure I got a few items in there for you all. And then next one is one of my personal favorites is Wget. And Wget is a way to download files, web page contents, things like that from the internet. And I'm just going to do a Wget on google.com. And it's going to download the whole web page. Oh. Probably go to temp directory before I even be doing this. Alright. Alright, now it's saved the index page. So if I cat index, and that's our next command, cat, which opens up a file for you and just displays it in the console. We'll see all the links and all the goodness from the Google website. All the scripts are running. Different things, the HTML code, things like that come directly from Google. And that's what Wget does. You can also download software. Let's say Wget. And I found a particular software link. Let's go to Kodi. Say Linux. Downloads. All right. No, they're not going to be a good one. Let's see what I want to do. All right, if I want to get CentOS downloads from one of these repos right here, I would copy the link address. I would do wget, enter that link address, and it would download, and it would show the progress right here as it's downloading and what device is downloading, or what item rather, or software is downloading. And we can cancel that. I'm not looking to get that. So remember, we have cat, we have wget, and then cat, and I'm going to do another cat item. So if I do echo and I send that to 1.txt, I can do cat1.txt, and it'll display the contents. Cat will allow me to display the contents of the 1.txt file. It shows it right here. It's testing video. And another one that's similar to that is the curl command. You can do curl, and there you go. And it did the same thing. It brought in all the contents and downloaded it all as well. So that's pretty useful. Both of those commands are highly useful, highly used. You can also use curl with various API calls if you want to get data, like music. If you're hooked up to the API for Facebook or anything like that for user data, you can use curl and make curl statements and curl commands and do gets and posts to update different items via API. Another personal favorite of mine is the find command. And you can use find to do just that, to find a particular file that you may be looking for. One. Alright, we're not going to do that. We're going to do any file with the name that ends with txt. And I'm going to sudo so it'll keep going. So it already found it earlier, but I ran it again. It found it up here, the file I created earlier, 1.txt. And it found it again here, nice and cleaner, once I elevated my privileges. And it showed me everything I need to know. There's a file. I was looking for any files that end with txt. So this asterisk says any. That ends with .txt. And that file was 1.txt. So you can use find to find different files in different directories, files in specific directories, and then you chain commands together to find a particular file by name, and then change the contents with using another command like sed or chaining it like that. There's a little more advanced for this video and more time consuming. There will be a video set aside for itself. All right, so let's move on to the top command. The top command is an excellent command. It shows you all the processes currently running on your system and which has the highest usage. Right now, Stix is using the most with the script simple screen recorder, and that's what I'm using to record with the recorder I'm using. My Brave browsers also has high CPU utilization as well. They have the memory up top, swap, the total, the free. It has the amount of users logged in, the load average. So if you remember, it's a combination of basically uptime, free-m, and free-g. And it's all in one place. And it's very dynamic, and it updates on the spot. Another command I like is the do command. You can run do against a directory, or you can run do against a particular file. So if I do 1.txt, and 1.txt is 4 kilobytes, but if I want to do do-h for human readable 1.txt, it'll give me 4 kilobytes, right, of data, and that's what the size of 1.txt is. If I want to get a total of all the files in a directory, I would just do C, and it produces a total right here at the bottom. Again, you never want to, not never, but you would really like to use that human readable format so you can look at it right away and say, okay, it's talking about 114 megabytes, rather than just, oh, is it 114K, 114M, 114G? What is it really referring to? And I really have to eyeball it. You can always have human error there and mess it up. But definitely look into that command some more. The next command is ping. If you want to see if you have network connections or to a particular device, if you want to see if you have internet access, anything like that, a good starting point is always start with a ping command. Just see if you can ping something. And I'm right here. I'm going to ping google.com. And yes, we have a perfectly good connection here. And it's telling me what my time to live is, which is the TTL. And it's showing the devices that I'm interacting with. It's showing the Google IP address. And then the also the time in milliseconds, the round trip time. So that's a pretty useful command there. And it also shows me that 7 packets were transmitted, 7 received, and there was 0 packet loss, which is a good thing. If you have any packet loss, you have something going on between you and that end device, and you have to troubleshoot it. All right, let's go on. If you want to get all of your hops between a location and yourself, if you are having packet loss and drops, this is a good troubleshooting one, is trace route. Yeah, I do that. Ew, an unreachable. So yeah, it won't let me utilize that. Let me see. I need the default version, IPv4. I think that's what the problem is. That trace route 6 is probably referred to IPv6. Yep, there you go. It tells me that my default gateway is 1.1. It's going through all these places in the DC area to get to Google. There you go. It shows me every hop along the way, except for the ones that don't respond to ICMP echo requests. And then that command is trace route. Remember that. Then you have NS lookup. If you wanted to get the DNS information for something, you would, if I reverse this and say, what is that? And I didn't get a response, but we know it's a Google device. Well, it says IAD is that host name's name, and I did get a response from it. This is the name of that Google device. And there you go. That's how you can find device names on your network. I can do NS lookup on other devices on my network. And it tells me it's server 1 on my files router at home. And there you go. That's the NS lookup command. And the very, very last one is SSH command. This is how you can log into one from one device to another or log to your server that has SSH server running on it. And for instance, 2.168.232. And I got access denied, but let's see if I do. Let me see. I'm going to put my information all in on here. All right, it shows me I'm logged in. It gives me my last login date from this dev one on the files router network. Thanks, comment, and subscribe. That was it. That's the end of the 25 useful Linux commands. Thank you.